Oh, that's nice. It's always good to help out others that want to join. I used to do the same thing. Well, I hope you recover well, Pigeon. My best breakfast. Yikes. I'm not really a breakfast person. Uh, like eggs and hash browns always hit. But if we don't have anything, like I don't mind just chatting, but if we don't have anything like fitness related or whatnot, I will end it early. Hello, just Darren. I see you just hopped in. Hello, Sage. Yeah, so generally speaking, we will have a topic beforehand. So we did we did like just starting out with nutrition and whatnot, and we'll follow something along those lines. The last 2 weeks I've been moving, so we've just been doing a general Q&A. So I just wait for people to have questions and answer them that way. So we'll have 1 to 2 every month that is ungeneralized, and then one hopefully 2 every month that is specialized with a guest. And this is really so people can come in and get immediate feedback. I mean, we have that questions tab, but I don't always get to that. Basic tips on how to eat better. So if we are defining better as, are we defining it as calorically better or healthier for like micro and macronutrient? Because I would classify those as two different things. Low calorie stuff isn't always healthy, but if you only care about calories, then that in my eyes is better. I put that in quotes. More healthy, but also trying to bulk. So then in that case, you want to, especially if you enjoy eating, you can do something called volume eating. So you eat relatively lean, pretty healthily. And since it's lean and healthy, your portions are going to be a lot bigger. So let's say we have like a whole grain pasta with some sort of lean meat, 96% beef or chicken, and then you also have some veggies. Like that combined, you're going to have a whole bowl of pasta, a cup or two of chicken, a whole bowl of greens. And that's still not going to equate to like a fast food cheeseburger. It's just, you're going to be able to eat so much more. You're going to feel full all the time. So your first step is just going to be like cooking in general. It is difficult to eat all the food sometimes. So that being said, if you try eating like that and you're having trouble getting it all down, you can go 2 avenues. If you're not hitting your calories, you can after you're full, drink a full glass of water. Over time, that will help you increase your appetite size, if you will. Or if it's too much, then you can make substitutions and make things less lean. Let's say you like the fatty parts of beef. Well, drop that down from 96, get a little more fat calories in there instead, and it'll be less voluminous. YT. How do I pronounce your name? YT Rix? What do I listen to in the gym? I would say that varies a lot. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I can invite you to the stage. And then I'll answer Sage's question. How do you squeeze the pro? I can, yeah. I'm good, man. How are you? Not much now. You're good. So, as you know, I'm a little bit of an anime enjoyer myself. Uh, I'll listen to edits sometimes. Other times, if I'm just stuck on a song, I'll listen to that song for like a week, maybe another week straight, like just full monkey brain. Yeah. So, yep. You'll find another one to scratch the itch. Uh, inside the gym. Yeah. So, just how long are you resting for between sets? At least 3 minutes. And are these for compound exercises? I'm assuming, like bench, squat. And how long have you been lifting? Okay, that makes more sense then. So your endurance will go up over time as you do it more. That's one thing. Two, um, are you lifting in the morning versus in the evening? The afternoon. Okay, so you should have a meal or two under your before you get there. Just and do you? I'm assuming you don't take pre-workout. Okay. No, and that's fine. I'd prefer people not to, but it's a little hypocritical as we discussed before because I'm I have a horrible caffeine addiction, but work in progress. Um, so yeah, as far as fatigue between sets, increasing rest time on compounds isn't unrealistic. Sometimes you need more than 3 minutes. Base it off of you. Like if you're feeling winded and it's been 3 minutes, don't jump into that next set because it's not going to be a great set. Wait till you're I don't want to say back to baseline, but close to it. Wait till that heart rate comes down. Um, for your isolation exercises, you shouldn't be too fatigued. If you are, it might just be because you're simply, you know, within your first year at the gym. Yep. So one thing you could also try. It won't be an instant thing. It'll take weeks. That Kali Gali in the chat and I used to do with our buddy Jamar. We would do a lot of supersets. So when you get used to doing a lot of supersets, and then you go back to normal training, generally that fatigue, yes, the endurance is much much higher, and he's gonna respond right now in the chat. Yeah, superset, because he has a Jamaican accent. Superset, bro. Yeah. uh, we love it. Yeah, appreciate it, dude. Have a good workout. I will later. It's fine. So, all right. To answer Sage's question, how do I squeeze in proteins for breakfast? So, time is the biggest constraint. I think it can go down to Pigeon's question as well, but his is more like cycling, not balancing work life. So find things that you enjoy eating. Typically, if you enjoy eating something, oh, okay, no worries. Am I just quiet? And let me know if I have any microphone issues. I switch mics. All right, I will answer Pigeon's question until you can't hear me. Give me 1 second. Oh, okay. Then just check your own individual volumes. But for Pigeon, Do you think cycling often to work, school, market would be impacting? It depends. If you're okay, there we go. There's the dependency. If you're very tired and sweaty at the end of cycling, so cardio is great as a baseline, right? It's good for you, keeps your heart healthy, helps you burn calories. Now, when you are trying to build your physique on a muscular level, cardio can kind of be fighting you in that journey. Now, cycling can be in between the two, right? Just like running can. If we look at sprinters versus endurance athletes, their physiques are incredibly different. Sprinters are short bursts because it's a high anaerobic activity. It doesn't use oxygen as much. Whereas aerobic exercise, long distance, does. So if you're going to school, work, in the market, I think that you are traveling farther than what we would call a sprint. Which again, it's just what you have to do. My best suggestion would be focusing on recovery with it and trying to space your workouts away from those cycling times. Let me know if you have any follow-up, Pigeon. But long endurance cardio and weightlifting don't necessarily go hand in hand, but you can optimize the two by separating them. And while he follows up, I'll go back to Sage's question. How do you fit proteins in the morning when it's busy and you just woke up and you don't want to do anything? Find something you enjoy. Find something you can prepare the night before. Or find something quick. A fourth option is, if you can, and it doesn't affect your mood, is some people can just skip meals. Others, the world ends when they don't eat, is make up for that protein in other meals, like an unofficial intermittent fast, something like that. But as for the three options before it, cottage cheese. So are you just not hungry? Is that... Oh, okay. Well, then if you're not even hungry, you don't have to necessarily force anything. You could just make your other meals throughout the day bigger. Or have an extra snack at night. There are many mornings that I don't eat or anything either. It's just go to work and then I have something around 11 and then lunch is a couple hours later. It's incline bench press necessary, or is it fine if I replace incline bench? Both are perfectly fine. Is he still in chat? He's not. I'll answer typing. Yeah, again, everyone's going to be different, Sage. If you are... I like to do what Ytrix also does. Sometimes a protein shake is just enough. It's like a glass of milk, essentially. And it's very easy to prepare. And I think I was answering a question in the question section with how long does it take for a scoop of protein to get digested? It's like 2 hours, 2.5. So that'll stay in your system for a good 3 hours. And generally speaking, if you work a normal job, 3 hours, you eat around 8 or 9, your lunch is around 11 or 12. Quote unquote optimal. I see that word thrown around a lot, but it's I think it's definitely overused in the server. That's for sure. Alright, I'm just gonna have to practice your name then. Ytrix. Hello, Rich. What a bulk. There's one confusion in bulk. What's mostly gain, muscle or fats? So that will be dependent on two things. That will be dependent generally on the composition of your diet and how big of a surplus you have. So, I don't know if I should use a visual or not, but A normal recommended surplus is between 250 and 500 extra calories per day. This will result in a half a pound to 1 pound gained a week. And that surplus is over your maintenance, whatever your maintenance is. It's different for everyone. Now, that 250 to 500 is the recommended because after 500, majority of the calories consumed will result in primarily fat gain. So, going back to your question, let me know if I dissect this right, but you want to bulk, but you don't want to get fat. A leaner bulk would be in your best interest, so something closer to the 250 than to that 500 calorie range. He responds, yeah, definitely. Oh, this is for Sage. Definitely bring something that you can. So I don't know what your budget is like either, but they do have shelf stable drinks already made, like Premier Protein and Fairlife. So they don't need to be refrigerated necessarily. I am kind of big on I somehow I get food poisoning like every other year, so I try to be super safe with my food. But you could probably just bring around, an empty bottle with protein in it if you don't mind mixing it with water, or you could just prepare the shake if you have a refrigerator. All three are very good options. But if you're not eating breakfast or lunch, I would probably put more than just whey in that shake. Or try to get something microwavable. Again, don't know the ins and outs of your entire situation, but skipping breakfast and lunch is going to be... it's going to fight against you if you're trying to develop your physique. Banana and peanut, you know what? That is better than skipping a meal entirely. And you're getting potassium, you're getting your healthy fats. If you supplement with shakes as well, I would say it's a good start. But you will need to up those calories a little bit, because just between the shakes and the banana and peanut butter, I don't think you'll be getting enough. So you could backlog for all that after you get back from university. Maybe have 2 meals in the evening. All right, Hedgehog. I have a wonderful question. I started eating a lot. Not really. Okay. Now I weigh 1 kg heavier in the morning. Does this count? It's like my core weight, or should I... So, when it comes to morning weight, I believe there's something in the diet section for this, maybe even 2 things, about tracking weight. There are days you're going to wake up a kg heavier. There's going to be days where you wake a kg lighter. And there are going to be days where your weight doesn't change. That's all going to be affected by water. So unless you're eating the same exact thing day in, day out, and drinking the same amount of liquids, your weight's going to fluctuate. Now, if you are 1 kg heavier on average, then it may be a good sign that you are increasing your muscle mass. But if you want to count it, you can count it. Then it legitimately may just be water. If especially around maintenance, it can be iffy. Similar boat. About 3 days ago, I was 2 kg lighter than I am now. Do I think that I gained 2 kg of muscle in 2 days? Heck no. It's more than likely just water, and if you had extra carbs, those carbs hold water, resulting in a higher weight gain. That is a great idea, Sage. And because of the lack of calories, I would say you don't even need to. You could go with like chicken thighs if you want those. I find them tastier, but they are higher in calories. But it looks like you'll have a large amount of calories to work with. You have chicken breast. Not as tasty, but less calories. What do I do for a living? So I do two things. I train, both through my own services and through a gym I go to, and I do like a cybersecurity auditor. So people come to us to test their quote unquote controls to make sure that they are being safe with other people's data. I think that's like the easiest way I can explain it. Yeah, it's cool. I used to be an engineer, but a lot of tech layoffs back in 2002. Or was it 2001? Either or. Sorry, 2021. Don't worry, I was only 3. So, my bad. That would be crazy if I just slipped up and I was actually like 50. Sparking Zero looks dope. I'm looking forward to getting it. I haven't gotten it yet, but I've been watching a lot of gameplay on it. Yeah, I always preferred on controller, but at least PC you can mod it. But from what I'm hearing, they added enough people where, yeah, definitely on controller. They don't have it on console. It's PC only. Okay, weird. They just left Xbox out of the mix. Oh, Leon. Let me invite you to the stage. Hey, Hey, how you doing? Everyone, this is Leon. Leon, do you want to introduce yourself? Yep. Uh, about like 26 minutes. Not as many people as usual. That's probably on my end because super last minute on Friday, but got some newcomers. Got some older folk like Colin. So we can give a second opinion on Sages since she's still here. She is not hungry in the morning. She often skips lunch. And she's just looking for ways that she can try to get her protein in throughout the day, maybe more on a convenience end, at least when she's at university. Let me know if I think I got all the points there. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that's great advice. That's kind of on the long lines we were talking about too. Yep. That's actually that's like her second meal is banana and peanut butter. Yeah, flavorless. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Oh, really? I really I don't know, man. I really think it depends on the brand. I like my protein, but one I've been taking a lot recently, it's ISO something. ISO Pro? Is it ISO Pro? No, it's the brand name. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's on top of the fridge. Yes. Super against Mass Gainer. Just make your own. I'm sorry. It's called Dynamize. So far, like I know some people are split on your whey protein tasting super delicious, but because of how bad it used to taste back in the day, it's like living in heaven now. But I have a Fruity Pebbles one, and it literally it tastes like Fruity Pebbles milk. Delicious. But they make some crazy flavors. I do enjoy my protein, and it's also cheaper. But this one's a little more expensive. But if you really hate non or like the normal flavoring, and you don't like unflavored, then this is what I would. And money wasn't an issue. This would be the one I suggest. Because I like the clear way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some companies that do that, and especially in person. Sometimes, at least near us, the gyms will have like sponsors come in with like a little booth. Not every gym, but more the private ones. They'll have like a little booth, and they'll talk about their product and whatever. The gym, I guess, gets a kickback for all the sales, and you get to try free samples of their stuff. So Verksville just left. I'm gonna respond by words. No. Hopefully he comes back and we can elaborate. But he was asking if an X shape is bad genetics. Up to the I would say that's preferred, especially like I don't know if he's just talking about the legs or the entire body shape, but I feel like X is like that's like Mr. Olympia, wide upper, wide quads, and small waist. I feel like oh okay. Well, this is yeah maybe then yeah if they have rickets that's it's definitely not a good thing. If it's like bowing inward, that's usually a vitamin D deficiency, but you can't really reverse it. Hmm. So we'll go to Rich. Rich said, "What is our favorite gym exercise?" I think I would have to say the log press. I find that very fun. Now that I can't deadlift like I used to because of all my spine injuries. Um, I used to love deadlifting and zercher squatting, but I really enjoy log pressing. 405. Nothing. Yeah. Nice. Amen. A little bit more each time. That's all that matters. Yeah, there's something about it, dude. It feels so. I don't know. It's just like it feels so real. If that's yeah. We also got what split do you follow and why? Yep, and the one you stick with. Yeah, I've done PPL for a long time. I've always enjoyed that more than like an Arnold split. I've always enjoyed that more than Arnold, just because with chest and back, I don't know. It's all complementary with PPL. So I feel like chest and back, if you go a little too intense, takes away from your arm session. Or if with a an Arnold split or on a PPL. Oh, gotcha. That's a good idea. Because yeah, and then you're also hitting your arms recover a little quicker because they're so much tinier than the other muscle groups. So you can increase the frequency without increasing your days in the gym. That's a cool idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually kind of do that now, at least with the shoulders. I'll do add lateral raises onto my pull days as well, and some biceps on the push days on occasion. Just because they recover so quick, it's like if you're doing that and you're sore, I wouldn't. I'd probably take a step back, either reduce the volume or just wait until you reach that point in time where you can do that. For those listening. Yeah. Couldn't agree more, man. And if there's something you don't like in your workout, I am just gonna say either find a supplementation or you don't have to do it. It's at the end of the day, it's what you want to do, what you enjoy doing. We get we also got oh, there's one above him. Is PPL 6 times a week good? And went from below bro split to PPL. I think that is a good transition, but it's going to depend on your recovery. So if you just basically doubled your volume per week for all your muscle groups, going from bro split to PPL. So if you're super sore, it's okay to be a little sore when you're transitioning programs, but keep an eye on that a couple weeks down the line. If you're not recovering enough, then maybe add a rest day in between every set of PPL's rest and do it that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe not even overtraining, but under recovering. It's you go. Wait, you lift every day, Rich? 7 days a week. I mean, it's doable as long as you're recovering. Yeah, it should be down bottom. I will in a second. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, almost as if you flip it upside down. Yeah, that's I've never seen that before, but that absolutely makes sense. And if you're not getting it over that recovery threshold, that's exactly where plateaus come from. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah. Are you like leaving right this second, by the way?
No, I'm leaving at 12:40. I just need to cook and like prepare stuff before.
Sorry, no,
Oh, isn't it
that's
just like
fish
this is like
in the
the
background.
bare minimum because I would not have
But
No, no, I'm just
yeah,
curious.
the 2 to 3 days
I was
thing.
just getting that done to finish my plate.
That's why a lot of splits are
My plate of food. Oh no, no, go
PPL
ahead. I
or
didn't mean to interrupt. If you're eating, yeah.
one
No,
second.
you have to let I me didn't know if you were eating because sorry.
One second.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always tell me like when you're done. Yeah.
No, I didn't know you had to leave right away. That's why.
No, no, you're good. Thank you for sharing. Eat your food.
No, that's fine. I don't care. Yeah. I have another friend that trains 7 days a week, and it's yeah, but it's all about your recovery. You know, it's going to be a lot easier in a bulk than it would be in a cut, and it's also all going to depend about your programming and how much each session you're doing. Like when he does deadlifts, he only deadlifts once a week, but he does quite a few sets. We'll say I don't know the exact number. And Colin, for reference, it's Zach. He he'll do 10 sets of deadlifts, long rest periods in between, working his way up to his top set, He'll hit his top set, and then that's it for the whole day. So he just has a deadlift day on Tuesdays. But it's so engaging, full body wise. You don't. He says that he has to be careful about training his lats even 2 to 3 days before because of how much engagement he needs with it. He does, and also he does snatch grip right now. So it's a lot more lat activation than a traditional conventional or sumo pull. But just another example, right? It's like that one exercise, fairly intense, but it's only once a week. And then in those other 6 days, you focus on something else. Some of them are more grouped. It's not just isolated to one exercise, like a push day and whatever. But he's correct. It's again, it's a handful of exercises. It's not 27 sets. You know. Yeah. Well, hopefully he starts typing now. If it's all right. Well, yeah. Sage is right before that, talking about smaller but more toned upper body. So to answer the first part of the question, toned or tonage, if that's a word, that generally comes from just body fat percentage and also where your body stores fat. Again, it's going to depend based off gender. It's also going to depend based off of you as an individual. So you say your lats are visibly big. So again, it's just like increasing cardio throughout the week could. I think that you should focus more on like fixing the diet thing first, because we have to make sure that we're the diet straight before we even talk about toning the upper body. And then for the second part, you're just working on lower body strength, which is good. But is that something you're struggling with? And as we wait for a response, we can move to the next one, which was losing weight consistently. I think this might be more your avenue. Yeah, but I think you mentioned the maintenance periods, which are very important for diet sustainability. So, just for context, he went through a huge weight loss. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same guy. Trix, I believe he came off of a huge weight loss. I don't remember the exact number. I don't want to say it was 100 pounds. Oh, 13 kg. Okay. Still, 26 kg, huge weight loss. Or 13 kg, 26 pounds. So at that point, you know, more than 10% of someone's body weight, we'd want to have a maintenance. White Tricks, you got timeline? 3 months. Yeah. So that's where a maintenance is can be good, and also revisiting the principles you're using for your weight loss. And as you get lower, it's always going to become harder. Bright P. So I'm gonna transition here. He wants to he wants to have us look at his bench form live. I don't know if you're interested in that, but while he sets up, I'm gonna go back to Sage's follow-up question, or yeah, follow-up question. So I'm gonna invite him, and I'm gonna mute you while you set up. Okay. And Sage, to follow up. So you're trying to grow the lower body, but you want to tone the upper. So what we have to do for this is phases. So sadly, it is fairly difficult to do both at the same time. For what? And quick sidebar, Y Tricks, can you lower the camera or put it to the side more? Can you do like a side panel shot? So if I were you, I would focus on getting the diet a little better, as we originally talked about in the beginning. And then from there, keep focusing on developing the lower. And then when you're ready for a fat loss phase, then you do a little maintenance, transition to that. It's just going to be a step by step. It's hard to do it all at once. You're good to go, White Tricks. Yes, it also depends on where your baseline is. And Sage, feel free to open up a question so we can go more in depth. And you can kind of keep track of it over time. He's shaking. Oh my god, he's. Thought we were about to watch someone die. Alright, so 2 things. The biggest being range of motion. So yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, the grip particularly. He mentioned, but everyone is going to have a different style grip. People that want to, you know, be competition level, they will go really, really wide. Others like to go close. I am a close grip person myself. I do one thumb width from the middle, where the knurling starts. So I'm typically a close grip bencher. It doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong. But the wider you come out, the less range of motion you have to do, and the more chest you're going to use, and the stronger your bench hypothetically will be. So they, well, think about it this way: the size of your tricep versus the size of your chest. So generally speaking, the pecs are a larger muscle group. With a larger muscle group, you get more recruitment. But I understand what you're saying. If you are dominant in a certain area, um, I also close grip kind of like how you do. I think I'm a tiny bit wider, but I did a lot of weighted dips back in the day, and that really led to my triceps kind of, yeah. So work with what you have. But and it's going back to your first question you asked about rest time between sets, or feeling recovery between, yeah, fatigue. You also did not mention that, do you failure train every set? So that is going to directly increase that rest time as well. If you do like a rest or two in reserve, or a rep or two in reserve, uh, you'll still progress. One, you might not need the safeties, though it is smart to have the safeties. Two, yeah. Hey man, maybe you'll set a new PR. Fight or flight. Well, yeah, it's pretty low. Well, little by little, right? So we do things, we learn, we adapt. Yep. It is. All right, thank you, Whitrix. All right, and that will be about it for today. If anyone has any last minute questions, they can just ping me in the chat. I'll answer you. Oh, okay. What's the deal with people just complete? So I'm assuming it's not in the context of like training for like a block press or anything. I would just bring it down to simply they either didn't learn the proper form, and that's just what they do, or they use safeties like he had to, and they're cutting it short and they get used to that range. So if, let's say he did the safety, he cut it short for 2 years, and then he finally was able to do it without them, he might naturally find that to be his stopping point. But people benching pretty high, the weight's probably just too heavy, and they just don't understand. Yep. I saw that yesterday. Or as Greg Doucette always says, choose different parents. Yeah, Jack Hanma. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for joining, Leon.